All right, testing 1 2 3, making sure my audio is all the way up. Hey everyone, hope you guys are all doing well. Thank you guys for dealing with me not being live for a little bit of time. I know I've had my ear issue for a minute and I still actually can't hear out of this ear, or at least back up to 100%. I can hear a little bit now, but it's like a big muffle. But I hope you guys all had a wonderful Christmas. Today we're going to be talking about a few different things as far as Bitcoin, some news that came out. We'll be looking at CNBC news plus like regular crypto news, because I think the crypto news is actually a little bit more important for us because it does show that people are still buying Bitcoin. Specifically, the very rich are still buying loads of Bitcoin here. So they still think that we're looking good for the foreseeable future, even though the technicals may say we're still looking for something of a bumpy ride, okay? So, hey Noor, happy to see you. Villarat, Manhunt, hope you guys have all had a good day here and a good Christmas and a holiday season. I know the season isn't technically over because we got New Year's coming up here in just a few more days, but, it'll just be a blast as we kind of see how Bitcoin closes out 2025, because I mean, who would have thought we'd be up here at 95,000 bucks, right? This has been a very good year for Bitcoin. Sure, the last week has been down, but I mean, before that we were above like 108,000 bucks. So things overall are still going good. So, hey, Arab Money, happy to see you in Crypto K. Happy to see your projections. What time is it now? 4 o'clock. So we should be good for the next hour here. Before we get started, though, I'm going to give Loki a treat. This is one of his Christmas gifts that my sister actually gave him. This is a duck neck. And you can see how much he's salivating over this one right now. It smells like duck, you know that? No, okay, there you go. And then off he goes. All right. Yeah, he's not even going to eat it next to me. He ran all the way over to the second bedroom, or the third bedroom, I guess. So he's going to enjoy his treat there. And we'll see how it goes. So as I'm getting over this ear thing that I've had, where I've just bad ear, so I had basically like an ear thing where ear got really messed up. Hopefully it's getting better now. There's no more pain, but like literally can't hear. It was a rough couple like week and a half where I could not do basically anything. So hoping it gets better from here on out. It's like has its like better hearing days and its worse hearing days, but I feel like something's just healing up in there, and I think that'll be fine. All right, and hey Jackie, I appreciate that. Hey RW, happy to see you as well. 2025, oh my god, I can't wait. We've been hearing some good news coming out of the Trump transition team about who he wants in these positions that are, institutional positions, which I think is just going to be a very good help for us in the community. I'm sure there's going to be some wild cards that we were not expecting, and we may talk about that later on today, but overall I think it's really good news. As you know, we can see the market here is saying really good news. So let's head over here very fast, kind of break down what's happening with Bitcoin. Oddly enough, since I kind of got sick here, not much has really changed with Bitcoin. Remember, we had been talking about for a while how the momentum was shifting, and basically Jerome Powell kind of changed the fortunes of Bitcoin for the short term here. And we're going to be waiting for different things to happen, but Jerome Powell really made a massive move that of course affected the cryptocurrency markets, and we still haven't managed to get back up there. What we're seeing in fact on this daily chart here, and we'll talk about the oscillators in a few seconds, is the 20-day moving average, which you guys know I love, and the 50-day moving average, which you guys know I very much love. So we have a couple things that are about to happen here. It's not going to be pretty either. No, it can be pretty one way or the other. So how do I explain this? We're going to see increased volatility again. This volatility can make you very happy, or it can make you very worried and concerned, right? So if you're looking at this chart at this moment in time, you guys can see that we are basically just kind of resting in between here. Resting in between the 20 and the 50, and that's been a level of support for us and a level of resistance, but we see a lot more volatility with Bitcoin, especially when we break through these levels. There's just a little bit more action, a little bit more surprise, a little bit more fun, I guess, if you're a day trader out there, with everything going on. Right now, you are seeing the daily MACD still be bearish. You're seeing the daily stochastic and RSI all still bearish at this point in time. Typically in a bull market, things can happen that are not predictable, where you see Bitcoin all of a sudden just start going sky high, even though the short term is maybe a little bit kind of nasty for it. So you go back over here. Now we had plenty of short term scares, right? We saw Bitcoin just come out crash from 12,000 all the way to 9,800. Pretty nasty move for back then, just so you can kind of show you. right? About 20% move for Bitcoin. And then within a few days, it just started to skyrocket again and go to the moon. We've had those a few times, something like this, where we had a big pop, we come down temporarily, we kind of rally back up, and then kind of go sideways and we have a move. There's a lot of volatility in the bull run is what I'm trying to explain to you guys. I don't want to get too bogged down in this because I feel like I could talk about this stuff for a very, a very long time. Loki's bad because he wants a second treat, but that first treat was pretty big. Now, that being said here, if you are a bull that you want to buy Bitcoin, you want to see what's happening here, you want to have a good move, I think right now, you're playing it close to the vest here. And I think what you're doing is still doing some of those day trades and not really looking for anything of a large swing trade. Typically for me, if I'm going to buy at these levels beyond the dollar cost averaging, which I've been doing, I feel like I need to see something more of a breakout come upon us. And the reason I need to see a breakout is because usually when we have those breakouts and when the weekly MACDs are still good, it gives us a signal that maybe we're not going to go parabolic right away, but we've kind of bottomed out enough where, hey, we can kind of hold this position. You guys can feel more confident about buying over here, and it can be the first of 2 or 3 positions you take, or it can be the first of a dollar cost average into a single swing trade, if that makes sense. But we don't really have that happening just yet. I was hoping we might have something a little bit better, but so far it looks like we're just in the process of making a new peak. And what I saw over the past few days is, of course, Bitcoin bounced from all the way over here, 93,000 bucks, all the way up to like 100,000 bucks again. It was a really good move. However, here, if you guys recall, I think it was a few months ago when we were talking about Bitcoin and what could happen here. I talked to you guys about how usually if Bitcoin's in danger of having some type of nasty move down, let's say somebody who said a few minutes ago that he thinks we might go to 80K or something like that. In order for that to usually happen, there's going to be some type of signal from moving averages and things like that. But you might usually see some type of last ditch attempt to stop it from happening. So you can see back over here, we were trying to stop the 50 from crossing above the 200. So you saw this big rally happen way over here, even in fact with the 20 over the 50 here. What hit my phone just now? There you go. But right now, if you don't want to see this death cross, basically, I would expect to see Bitcoin try to make a pretty big rally out of nowhere. Do I think that's going to happen right now? Probably not. At most, I can see Bitcoin still trying to consolidate for a few more days here, or even a couple more weeks. Maybe we'll have another big pump as far as maybe when Trump is inaugurated, maybe he'll say something about Bitcoin. We'll have another peak, and then we might kind of die back down for a minute. However, let me point this out to you guys very fast. This isn't so uncommon to have the 20 and the 50 have those breakdowns, right? 20 and the 50, death cross over here, death cross over here, death cross over here, and possibly death cross over here. Usually not a good symbol for Bitcoin, right? Most of the time, you can see right over here back, ETF launch, if you will. Death cross right there, and we still managed to go up. Death cross over here went down. Death cross over here went down. Death cross right here went up, but this was like a banking crisis, so it was a little bit of a different time for the market. But you can see generally it's not a good move for Bitcoin. So if we do see that signal, I'm more likely than not advising extreme caution going forward with Bitcoin as far as going long on some swing trades. Long on day trades, sure, we can talk about that all day because the 4-hour chart, 15, 5-minute with those oscillators and all that type of stuff. But the weekly chart is, I think, where most of you guys should still be paying attention. And at this point in time, I can get rid of this old trend line here because we're not going to come into contact with it most likely for a while here. We still don't have, remember, we're talking about this though. If it gets too close, typically we'll start to break out one way or the other. And since we're in a bull market, typically we'd break out to the upside. It's almost like getting squeezed and then pop, you know? This one is still doing okay for us. But Bitcoin should have a very large move, and I mean pretty good sized move here, before like the end of February, I would say. Sure, we can come back down here to like, 80, well, the support level for us right now is like 90,900, that old Fibonacci level. We can come all the way back down here to 86,000, 85,000, whatever it ends up being. I think the Fibonacci level right now is 86,000. Let me back this up very fast. $86,434 is the first level if we're going off of this current bull market. And then if we were to change it up a little bit here, the next one is 68,450. I don't think we're heading back down that low, so I'm still thinking around 86,000 is probably at worst where I could see Bitcoin going over the next week or so. So if I have any limit orders, that's kind of where I'm placing them. If the support is 86,434, I feel okay placing it around that because we obviously dipped below those levels before on the daily chart, and by the end of the week we've managed to close back above them. That's kind of what I'm thinking. I don't really know if this is probably a good opportunity for leverage swing trading type openings. I don't really think that's probably the best way to go about this, but if you guys have a Coinbase, Crypto.com, even a Robinhood account, I think that'll do a pretty good job for you here. So that's one thing. I wish there was some better news on that front, but it seems to be 86,000 after that previous level of resistance on the other fibs, which was 90,900. Now, let me go back over here for one more thing before we just start going over some news and stuff. The weekly MACDs are fine. We're losing momentum, but we're fine. Stochastic is bearish and RSI is bearish now, so we get 2 to 3 things that are bearish. To me, this just symbolizes that you're moving more into a day trading phase and you're not swing trading anymore, unless you guys find a specific altcoin you really like that is showing you a whole bunch of signals. And sometimes that happens, but usually you're going to find that token. It's not going to be any watches. You're going to hear about it. You're going to see it on coinmarketcap.com when you kind of go on the front page, and then you're going to be like, oh, there it is. Like, BGB token. I have a feeling I'm going to sell the rest of my token here because it's up to $7 right now, right? I bought this sucker for 6 cents. I mean, I feel very heavily incentivized to sell like the majority of it and just be happy. But then my greed is like, what if it keeps going up? This is one of those tokens that if you guys want to day trade, it is perfectly there. It's up 25% today. You look at over the past year, it's just gone parabolic. You look to see when we first bought it here as a channel, it was way back over here. So we, back when nobody wanted to buy anything, I liked to BitGet back in the day before they were kicked out of the United States. But I mean, talk about some money right there. But yeah, so that's my feelings about Bitcoin right now. I feel a little bit more bearish on it than bullish, just in the short term here as we kind of see everything pulling back. If we get some more good news, I might try to put a long out there, but I think dollar cost averaging has been working fine. What I need to see for me is you can see how we're almost making a peak and possibly a peak right here. I just want to see us break out above that and have a bullish MACD. And if we can do that, I'll be very happy. If we break out without the bullish MACD, I will not buy until the MACD comes along. And by then we may have a new pattern to pay attention to. However, I want to buy, but it just doesn't feel like the right market for me right now. If you go through a bunch of other tokens, I guess we can skip coinmarketcap.com for now. Go over here to Ethereum. You can still see we're still a bit more bearish here. It's trying to survive, trying to hold up against some of these support levels. It's having some troubles. Even the order block, even the Fibonacci, it's trying at this point. Solana still coming down pretty nastily. Dogecoin still coming down. Dogecoin had so much hope in this thing, but as soon as we broke down, I mean, it was just over right there. The party was over. That's sideways as can be right now. Bonk coming down gradually after a nice breakout, right? You can see the new trend lines in your head. You can see those lines that we have to break out above. Next time we break out above those, awesome. Until then, I feel like it's okay to dollar cost average. That's where my head is at right now. Because I don't like how everything's getting more sideways here, especially with a chance for us to have some bearish moves on the moving averages. To me, it feels like just kind of wait this out a little bit more, or at least wait until we see something better on the charts. And as far as something better, we may get it soon because, again, we do see a lot of news happening. I know this is very small for you guys, very, very small. But you see this right here. BlackRock doubles down on IBIT exposure through its global allocation fund. The fund now holds over 17 million worth of shares from the spot Bitcoin ETF, which is among the 35 largest funds ever to launch. So big money it's really investing in here. You could actually even back up a little bit. I think there was one more. Let's see. Bitcoin accumulator addresses acquired 225 Bitcoin in December amid significant sell pressure. So there's just these people that don't want to buy Bitcoin at $100,000, but if it dips down to like 94, 93, 92, they're just happy to buy as much as possible. And I think that's kind of the good way to go about this right now. I know dollar cost averaging has been very, very boring over the past week or so because I haven't been as bullish with Bitcoin ever since the daily MACD kind of gave up on us. And I mean, it's been since November 26th. Sure, we've kept on going up, but I was like, until we get that big move, I don't really feel comfortable. And then what happened? We spiked up. Actually, I can pull this up on maybe a 1 hour chart. You know, beautiful spike. We just gave it all back up. And that's some of the crazy stuff you see when for example, Bitcoin is showing you mixed oscillators and mixed momentum signals, if you will. Now, for today, get ready for volatility either way we go. I think this is another one of those days where we either are down a few $1,000 or up a few $1,000. If we go down a few $1,000 today, I would be, it'll be fun for day trading because I think you could probably buy it back down here around 90,000, $91,000 for a pump. But it's just going to be sketchy. So if you guys can, please be careful. And something interesting because of the holidays here, actually. You can see all that volatility happening right now. New York today was actually very slow, and Tokyo was where all the action was yesterday for Christmas. New York very, very slow the past few days. Then we go back to normal, December 24th. Really big moves. I wonder if that's going to stay the same or not, but we just started Tokyo time here, so be careful. We could easily see Bitcoin have a pretty big dump there. London time still doesn't seem to matter as much, and I don't know why. I mean, I know we're not just looking at London when we talk about this, but like there's Europe involved as well, and I'm wondering why maybe Europe just doesn't traffic as much in cryptocurrency and things like that. Let me answer this. Let's see. Sorry about that. I had to make sure I sent something. I don't know why. I got an Apple Watch for myself for Christmas. And this thing buzzes like crazy, so I think I'm going to take it into Apple Store just to make sure I know for sure how to make it stop. I think I can go into the settings and just go app by app, but I was hoping there would be a way to just have it no signals. I tried driving to Seattle the other day with this sucker on. Every single turn on my GPS, this thing vibrates. Every single turn, every single update, it vibrates. Not a fun thing. But anyway, yeah, so just be careful of Bitcoin today, guys. It looks a lot more bearish than bullish. Long term, we're still looking fine. Even if you go over here to the monthly oscillators and stuff, let me back up a little bit. Right, we're still fine. We're still bullish. That's all good to go, right? We've been here before, right? Once we kind of start these cycles, we're usually okay. Usually okay for some moves, right? Usually do good. Stochastic is bouncing around a little bit, fine. RSI is still high, but we're fine. We've been high before, to be honest, so it's not too much of a hiccup for me. Short term though, you guys could be in for a world of anxiety. That might be the way to say it for today. You could already see the support level we have right now and how we're trying to hold it. In fact, for this video episode stream, whatever you guys want to call it, we're going to have that support be right here at 95,199. We're going to see if Bitcoin actually does make a push down for it. As far as everything else, let me go back over here very fast. where we at? There we go. BitGet token, FTX token, Gate token, OKB, Hype, all having decent moves today. I'd really say, of course, it really just goes to FTX token and BitGet token. Everything else is like 2-4%. Then, of course, after that, everything's pretty much going down because Bitcoin's been kind of going down a little bit here. But just want to remind you guys, in case you guys forget, I don't think you guys do, but in case you guys do, you get the point I was trying to make there. Last 30 days, Bitcoin is still up. Year to date, Bitcoin is still up. Ethereum is up. XRP is up. BNB is up. Solana is up. Actually, Solana's down the last 30 days, but it's up year to date, which is fine. Same with Dogecoin, still up 250% year to date. Awesome. And that goes to say that a lot of you guys who have always been maybe saying, oh, I suck at day trading or I suck at swing trading, I don't know what I'm doing here, that type of stuff. If you guys just slowly accumulate and dollar cost average into the market, especially when everything is crashing and burning, it usually works out for you guys if you guys are just able to hold. So while you guys are learning, don't feel afraid about just buying into Bitcoin during those crazy moments that we might experience sometime in the next year, 2-3 years. Who knows when this bull market's going to come to an end. We're in new territory with all the institutions coming in with us. But yeah, there's definitely some good stuff there. And hey, Johan, happy to see my man. Everyone's saying 2025 will be bullish. I mean, it looks like we still got some more room to grow. That's for sure, especially because we're going to have more news about cryptocurrency coming from the government. You know, I can't deny that. It's more of just like, let's see how the economy goes and what Jerome Powell does. Right now, the move that we've been seeing here for the past week or so, maybe go the last 12 hours, 12, you know, all that crap, that was all Jerome Powell. And now it looks like we're in some type of continuation pattern after the breakdown, and we're looking to see, are we actually going to break down or are we not? You know? You see that right here. We're trying to hold. We're trying to hold. And the last few times they pushed us down, we've been able to, you know, stay afloat here. But the bears are getting kind of restless at this point. That's why you get yourself a real watch. I have real watches. I love them. But this is specifically for me to go to the gym. And I absolutely love it at the gym. I love it. But like normal around the house type of stuff, I usually don't wear a watch at all. I've moved over to beads and stuff unless I'm in a formal environment. I think it's the West Coast in me. What do you call? Yeah, I just don't know. I mean, I love the watch. It's fantastic. I just need to turn off the vibrations for stuff I don't like. And I think that'll be perfectly fine afterwards. 73 to 90K has been a non-tradable area. Now, we haven't been down there for a minute here. China needs to front run Trump and buy up some Bitcoin. You know, as far as Trump, I don't know how fast he's going to move on this Bitcoin reserve thing. I don't know how fast he's going to be. Because when I hear him, you know, remember, I've always had a different view of Trump, I think, than a lot of other crypto YouTubers. You know, I know Trump talks about crypto. I know he thinks about crypto and stuff like that every now and again. But I don't really think he knows so much about it like people think he does. I don't think it's his top priority right now. I think his priorities are fixing the border, which is just, you know, blown to freaking pieces right now. I think, yeah, there's a whole bunch of like steel and stuff to fix the border, but I think the Biden administration sold it, and I think the state of Texas bought it so they can just put it back towards the wall. Bunch of like, you know, immature games that are somehow serious people are playing. So the border, fix the tax system again, economy, get the inflation back down. And as far as I'm concerned, I don't even think he's going to try to push inflation down. I think he just wants to put more money in people's pockets, so it seems like overall they can afford more things. I think that's kind of his approach to this. And then part of that, you know, maybe gas. Maybe gas is the one thing he can really play around with. But when I think of Bitcoin, I don't think of him behind the resolute desk being like, okay, so what's our plan on Bitcoin? What's our plan on crypto? I think of him saying, hey, Josh, what's our crypto plan right now? All right, good. All right, keep at it. Like it's a quick 10 seconds of his day. What's going on with Bitcoin? If that, right? If that. And I think that's fine. And I think that's good enough for me right now. I'm just waiting to see what his team is able to do once everybody's actually in power, once he's actually inaugurated, once his staff is in place. Because, I was watching a CNBC video. Let me see if I can find it for you guys. I'm not going to actually play the video, but they had an infographic where they were showing, let's see, where they were showing, let's see, Bitcoin CNBC. Here we go. So this was one of the anchors talking with the Blockchain Association CEO. And there's a thing in here. Here it is. And we're on the full screen thing right here. Okay, so President-elect Donald Trump's pro-crypto picks. Scott Bessent, Treasury Secretary pick. Good guy. Stephen Moran, Council of Economic Advisors pick. Really pro-Bitcoin. Paul Atkins, SEC Chair pick. Fuck Gary Gensler. Get him the fuck out of here. Awesome, Paul Atkins. Awesome. All right, David Sachs, Crypto Czar, more of a White House beast, if you will, kind of navigating the policy as a whole and like telling each of these guys what they need and that type of stuff. Also a good pick. So I would encourage you guys, if you have some time, or maybe I'll make a video about this actually, talking about what each of these picks believes about cryptocurrency, because they all like crypto. They all want regulation on crypto, but there's going to be different ways, I think, in which they apply the pressure. And for most of us, I believe, we're going to be focused on Paul Atkins and David Sachs. Stephen Moran, Council of Economic Advisors, I think he's more about the crypto and blockchain, like the technology, getting more jobs in the country, higher GDP to help with our crazy debt. Maybe he'll be something with, that side. Scott Bessent, more of the legislative side as far as, hey, what's happening with our GDP? How can Bitcoin help the country as a whole? How can Bitcoin help the dollar as a whole, right? Because a lot of these stable coins are, I would back them, or excuse me, they're backed by the dollar. Excuse me, Jesus. But yeah, so a lot of stuff going on here, and I'm pretty excited to see what they're able to do. But I mean, we still have like a month left before this happens, and again, they're all going to have to get acclimated to their jobs. And for people like Paul Atkins here, again, remember, the SEC has been anti-crypto for years now, like heavily anti-crypto for years. So he's going to have to change that culture by either telling the people, hey, this is where we're going now, right? And if they fight him, he's going to have to fire them and replace them, and that's going to take time. But I think in this new administration, they're just going to fire a lot of people who don't agree with what they think, because you could say the American people gave them an agenda. And who are you, Mr. Bureaucrat in Cubicle A, to say no to this? Something that viewpoint, right? And that's how I'd like it. If I voted for Obama, Hillary, Trump, Biden, Buttigieg, Harris, Romney, I don't know who, Bush, whoever. I couldn't vote when Bush was in president. But what do you call it? I would have voted for their administration to follow through on their plans. And if somebody was standing in the way in a bureaucracy, I'd be like, fire that motherfucker, get that guy out of here, get him out of here. And I still believe that's the best way to approach these, if you ask me. Still the best way to approach these. So we'll see. If there's not a lot of news about firings, I'll be actually pretty disappointed, and I'd be. The more firings, the more I feel like there's actual change happening. If people aren't getting fired, I feel like there's not change happening, if that makes sense. Because I feel like across the government, a lot of people deserve to be fired, especially, I wouldn't say your everyday rank and file people, although maybe some of them have issues, maybe. Well, I'm sure there are. But those top ones, they came over with somebody a few years ago, and they're still a leftover from that administration. They, when you start asking them questions, do this, like, they're not actually doing what you say, that type of stuff I feel is more important. Any Fed meetings coming up? No. I don't think there's a big Fed meeting coming up. If you guys are ever curious, you guys can always just type in Fed meeting update. Or even Fed meeting calendar might be better. Because there is one, I think, in... Let me see. Tuesday, Friday, anything else here? FOMC meeting dates. There we go. $2025. I keep on forgetting we're almost close to the 2025. Oh, there it goes. Okay, I was just took on the wrong link, I guess. 2023. There is no 2025 yet on here. I'm sure there's a meeting coming up. I don't think it's a rate hike meeting, but I believe it's a meeting, if that makes sense. Yeah, for 2025, Tuesday, January 28th, and Wednesday, January 29th. So January 29th is going to be the next meeting. I don't think it's a rate cut meeting, though, so that'll be interesting to see how that all plays out. BGB short, tops, I mean, you could try to short BGB. That thing has just been going higher and higher. I definitely need to sell more of that sucker. I can't believe I bought something that managed to go up like that. It's rare. Again, remember, the last time that happened was Dogecoin, but Dogecoin is actually much better than BGB. But again, you know, price increase calculator. And BGB is at what, 731.06. Final value is 731. What, 12,000% increase? That's not bad, but it took 3 years. 3 years. It took 3 years for that to happen. But yeah, so you know, I'm pretty happy with it. But again, that's because I, you know, remember back in the day, BitGet sponsored my channel, and with all the money I made from them, I kind of just kept buying their token because I felt like they had a solid exchange. And then I had to move all of my coins off of the exchange because they were like, oh, we're leaving the United States. The government's kicking us out. And I was like, you know, I hate when that happens, especially during a good part of the market here as well. DCA Bitcoin, DCA BTD in a hold. This is my first full year. It sure beats stocks other than MSTR, of course. Happy holidays. Happy holidays, Steve. And thanks for being a member as always. Same with you, Villaret. MSTR is a wild ride. You guys, out of all of my videos that I post, besides like tutorials and stuff, which I'm going to do more of here, and hey CT, hope you're doing well, my man. Hope Vegas is still fun. I think that you guys really enjoy the Michael Saylor videos. So I think every time I see a video of Michael Saylor talking online, I am going to do a review video of it because that seems to be what you guys like more than anything else. With my ear having issues, I have been like back and forth on making videos and stuff like that. But now that they're pretty much getting back to normal, or this ear is back to normal almost, it's just bad hearing. The more I talk right now, the more this ear actually feels like it's starting up with something. So I don't know what the frick is happening here. But I think I do need to do some stuff about Michael Saylor that you guys will enjoy. And hey, Discount, happy to see you, my man. A coworker of mine gave me a Quorum cigar today. I know very little about cigars. If you know it, is it good? I have not actually heard of a Quorum cigar today. I think one of my friends mentioned it and said it was good, but that was on a Discord forum. But I trust the guy, so I think they're pretty good. I just ordered myself 2 sticks for a couple friends as a gift for the new year. I'm going to be meeting with some who I consider very important people and kind of friends and mentors of mine. And I bought each of them one. I don't know exactly which cigar it is. Let me see if I can find it for you guys very fast. Not that one. Okay, what's it called? Okay, here it is. Okay. It's called a Opus X Society. Opus X Society? Now, I didn't even buy one of myself these cigars because I don't believe in like smoking really expensive cigars as much as I used to. Okay. 06? Okay, there you go. Fuente Opus X Society cigar. So if you want a box for 20, they cost about $2,600, right? Wild. However, for a gift for some very important people who, you know, I respect, good stick to give. I wish I should have bought myself one of these because apparently they taste very good. But I can't justify the purchase. I can justify the purchase when it's not me. That's fucking sad. But what do you call it? It should be pretty interesting to give it a smoke. So I'll let you guys know how my friends enjoyed it next year. Is it rebounding from the 50 EMA? Not really right now. Right now, we're just testing everything on the support level, and we're looking to see if we're going to have a large push down later on tonight. That's kind of what's going on with Bitcoin right now. You can think about it as, oh my God, we're about to break down to a massive level of support. Or you can think about it, as more of, oh my gosh, we're about to bounce off of this major level of support, so I want to buy. The thing is, we're getting so many mixed signals that you're taking a gamble either way, and you just want to have that stop loss there. So if you're looking at this from a buying opportunity right now, okay, let's say we hold 95,199 here. You might want to buy if we manage to break out above this resistance level up here, and then we actually have something of a shorter term 5 to 15-hour hold you could try to play as Bitcoin tries to go back up here, maybe towards $97,000 and $98,000. That'd be the play right now. To me, I don't like that just because the daily charts are very bearish. The weekly charts are still bullish, but turning bearish. And then we have the 4-hour charts and everything like that. Like, 4 hours bearish, 3 hours bearish, 2 hours bearish, 1 hour just turned bullish on a little bit of MACDs, but not everything yet. 30 minutes okay, 15 minutes is okay. Again, daily bearish, 12-hour bearish, 4-hour bearish. That's kind of the meat of what I'm looking for right now, and it just doesn't seem that great. For day trading, I think you can try to make that trade off of here in a little bit later. But as far as I see it now, I'd rather just sit back and wait because you can make these trades. But for me, I know these are trades where I maybe am only about 60 to 65% accurate. Okay. When I trade, I like to be like 85 to like 90% accurate, which is why I usually wait for everything to align. I invest a lot of money during those times and I pull up my thousands. This, I'd be like, let's invest a couple $100 and let's see where it goes. It's more like that. It's not even like investing thousands, it's investing hundreds for me. And even then, I'm not even investing. That kind of shows you my mindset right here. Yikes, 2600 each. Yeah, definitely. Credible 3-year-old. Oh, there you go. It's a Nicaragua hand-rolled cigar. It's about all I know from the packaging. Oh, I mean, that could be really good about it, though. Your technicals better include Jerome Powell. It breaks my heart every time he speaks. Everything crashed and nobody notices. What? That's all we talked about for like 2 weeks leading up to it. Like, anybody in this chat can tell you, I was warning people like, hey, be careful of Jerome Powell. Be careful of Jerome Powell. There's rumbles happening that he may do a hawkish cut. There's warnings that the Fed might not want to keep on cutting rates consistently. Like, I was all over that. But see, I'm not a prominent streamer. I'm a guy in cryptocurrency who does my own thing. I enjoy it. I enjoy it a lot. But I'm not at the echelons of the top people up there that have like massive like hundreds, like millions of subscriber followings. I know them. I've met them. I meet them every time I go out to a crypto event, and they are awesome people, but I am not at that level. So I kind of keep to myself, my community. People come and go as they please. They watch me, they watch other people out there, which I encourage, of course. But for me, like, no, I was talking about this. I've been talking about this for a minute, which is why I'm like, hey, you guys might want to consider scaling out. You want to have something left in there in case we go boom. But this hawkish cut talk, is something that is going to concern me here. But yeah, we've been talking about this for a minute, like more than a minute, more than a minute. I decided to sell my Bitcoin 103,000. I mean, I made a considerable profit, so now I'm just looking for a re-entry point. That's a good way to think about it right there. What effect do you expect from the options expiration tomorrow? Tons of volatility. I don't expect any certain movements like up or down when it comes to like options expiring. For me, it's always been like, oh man, you can expect some really good moves leading up to this. And right now, again, Bitcoin is squeezed between the 20 and the 50-day moving average, which is going to lead to a really good day tomorrow. Like, again, now most likely we head down here, but again, we're still overall bullish. Like, that might be able to save us. I'm really hoping we actually have some good news coming out. I feel like that's what I'm looking for here. But I just don't know what news could happen that's expected, like expected good news. I don't really see anything like that. What we'd be looking for is Trump saying something surprising about Bitcoin that would that would screw over the short-term shorts, leading to an opening for bulls. Because again, like I said right now, if you guys want to buy Bitcoin right now, you guys definitely can. You guys have a support level of 95,199. You could definitely just put a stop loss there and go along your merry way and see what happens. We've done this before. Remember, what was it, like 2 weeks ago? We did a I was like, we've dropped down enough. I think let's see if we can get a little pop here. I did a $200 trade open long with 200x leverage. All right, so I was either going to lose like 400 to 600 bucks, or I was going to make like 600 to 1200 bucks, which wasn't even a good ratio. But I was like, you know what? Let's give it a shot. And it worked out. So, but again, that wasn't like, oh my God, I'm 85% confident of that type of trade. I was like, I think we're going this way, but man, it could go either way. Either way. It's things like that. Like tonight, I think who's playing? The Bears are playing the Seahawks. Man, I really hope my Seahawks win, but it can go either way. If I was to bet, I'd bet on Geno Smith and the Seahawks, but it could go either way because the Seahawks can really suck sometimes. So that's the way I viewed the market. I really am patient with it. And hey, Matt, it's happy to see you. Very, very. What was I going to say? Oh, after a very, very good Christmas. I'm okay with it dumping 29% now. Wink. I think a lot of people are, to be honest. Because so many people scaled out, right? I think that's the proper way to go about it. I told you guys I'm already doing some small dollar cost averages back into the market, but all of those things are down quite a bit. They're down like 100%, again, with leverage, 100%, 200%, 50%. And altogether, I think I'm down maybe about $130 right now. So again, I haven't really put much money in there, but I have to continue to dollar cost average. And was I dollar cost averaging over the last few days during the holidays? No, I was not. So I missed this dip we had a few days ago, and I missed the pop from yesterday, and I guess we had another dip today, but maybe I'll buy them tomorrow or something like that. My brain has actually been off since I've been sick. I don't exactly know what happened, but I feel like I need to jumpstart my brain. I was telling a good friend of mine that. But yeah, it feels like I need to jumpstart my brain a little bit here, so keep on doing what I'm doing. I've also been going to the gym, and my body's freaking sore as hell, which is cool, nice, but like, damn, it hurts. That's been something. But I got my bike inside the house, which has been nice too, so we'll see how that works out. Seahawks should, but Vegas might wreck Peeps tonight. Yeah, I don't trust the refs. Maybe Palantir could do something with Bitcoin. Palantir news boosted AI sector. Palantir is generally pretty good at their media exposure. I think they could do something well with that. I think they'd probably wait until Gary Gensler is out of there, though. Again, there's so much upside to Bitcoin, but a lot of it has to wait until the SEC gets kind of cleaned out of all the nastiness and all of the anti-Bitcoin propaganda they got rolling in there, right? I can imagine inside the SEC office, you see a big sign of Bitcoin, and it's like, Bitcoin is the enemy. You know, it's stuff like that. I can imagine the SEC. Or, you know, say no to drugs, say no to Bitcoin. Oh my God, that'd be so funny to walk into the SEC and see all that crap in there. And hey, Lisa, I appreciate that a lot. Speaking of Loki, because I have to go here pretty soon because I'm getting a headache. Don't see my I need to soft start my brain. Loki's last treat of the day. And hello. He was barking up a storm earlier. I learned the secret to get Loki to bark is you got to raise your hands really tall while you're playing with him. Not right now. It's like, ow, dude, your claws hurt. Excuse me. Down. Thank you. Ow. All right. I got to give him a second to wait every time he climbs up on me now. Okay, good boy. You're a good boy. Oh, thank you for being so gentle. Oh, look at that. You saw that gentleness? And of course he ran away again. Ran away again. That's all he wants to do right now. Enjoy his stuff. And hey, Gambit, happy to see you, man. Bull run is over. Recession is here, Jake. Man, again, if there's anybody trying to cause a recession, it would be Jerome Powell right now. Jerome Powell is desperately trying to cool the market. If you guys haven't already, I typically tell you guys, I typically don't like CNBC or Fox Business or Bloomberg when they start going into their personal opinions instead of just like the factual data. That's all I care about, right? But we know they're going to do them. So I show you guys CNBC and I show you guys Fox Business. I show you all that stuff already. That being said, if you guys want to learn more about what the Fed's doing and kind of what it may do to the economy, I would encourage you guys to actually look at the guests that CNBC or Fox Business or Bloomberg has on. I prefer a podcast format, of course, so if they have a podcast, it might be worth just like listening to it for an hour. But I love to hear some of the experts that aren't really well known, they're not the famous people, as they kind of explain like, hey, this is what no more rate cuts for a while means for the economy and certain sectors of the economy at that. That's the type of information I use to help you guys when it comes to like going long or short, and why I was so like, guys, I know Bitcoin is like doing well right now, but this Fed stuff could really fuck things over for us. And you saw me worried about that. You know, it's all because of stuff I learned from there or different podcasts out there that my friends show me or little clips that my friends show me. So it's that type of stuff, right? And hey, Vegas Nick, happy to see you. I think 100K is max paying for options expiration. Ooh, that could be interesting. I mean, for most people, I think that like to gamble, I think it's worth a bet. For me right now, I'm just going to sit back in my butt and kind of enjoy this. I've been going to the gym so much. I think my... No, I don't know what it is. I've been changing up the way I exercise every now and again. Some days I do very heavy weights. Some days I just do endurance where I'm just doing lighter weights, but I'm doing so many reps. And God, it burns. It burns. What are we looking for with Bitcoin? So short-term Bitcoin is kind of bearish here just because off the daily charts and what we've been seeing off the weeklies here as well with momentum shifting down. The upside for Bitcoin now is even though the momentum is still pointing towards a downward direction, we have a level of support here, which is this 50-day moving average, right? So when we break down and we kind of play around with these moving averages quite a bit, you're going to see a lot of volatility. See the candles around these are just much larger in general. So there's a couple things I could see happening today. First, Bitcoin will probably try to crash all the way over here to like 92, 91 and a half thousand bucks. That's option one. That might happen sometime tomorrow, like during the daytime, but still within today's candle. On the other hand here, if we get some good news, we may see Bitcoin try to have one last pump up here, back up to 98, 99,000 bucks. And that could be a really good one. If we're really lucky, because again, we'd have to make the bounce, then break out above the 20, we could even see Bitcoin shoot back up to like 102,000 bucks. And I know that sounds far-fetched. I understand. But we still have that bullish momentum from the weekly MACDs, which is very, very important in my opinion. So those are the two other options. Either we get rejected right here, come back down, or make a full breakout. I'm just choosing to dollar cost average this just so I have a little position open. But I'm not going to, like if we pop up like this, I'm not going to really sell much unless I have some type of day trade I want to open up tomorrow to sell and things like that, because eventually if we do have the big pop, it just means we're just consolidating for a longer period of time. People get hyped up for a second, they were like, oh, never mind, we're still going down generally. So that's kind of my feeling of what's happening with Bitcoin right now. But guys, I'll hit you up a little bit later. I do want to make one announcement before I end this stream, because I think talking is actually messing on my ear a little bit, because I guess I haven't been talking as much. It's been a very quiet holiday season for me. Like everybody's talking around me and I kind of answer questions, but like I'm like, hey, I'm doing okay, that type of stuff. I did partner up with a cigar lounge up in Seattle, so starting after the new year, I will be doing a stream up there every now and again. So that means maybe every Thursday I won't have a typical technical analysis stream. Instead, what I'll do is I'll have a stream where I'm on my phone, you know, I use my phone, my gimbal, and I just talk with you guys about cryptocurrency, the economy, and cigars, basically, and have a good time. They're not really paying me as far as like, oh my God, we need you, you know, we want you to bring business over to us. But I think it's just to kind of have a good time. I can help bring exposure to them. I'm going to help them out with some other stuff because I know the owner. And I think it'd just be fun because I've been looking for a way to share my love of cigars with you guys for a while. But you know, my system over here, it's just not good enough for the cigars I smoke. So typically I smoke out and about. And if I can smoke at a private club, you know, a private club, it'd be pretty freaking awesome, right? So I'll talk to you guys more about that here pretty soon, and I'll have some more videos coming out tomorrow. I think tomorrow's when I really jump back into the thing, into the system, you know, into hopping back into YouTube. It's just that whatever happened with my ear, it was really bad. I went to the doctor for it. You know, they gave me some pain pills and stuff, or they told me to get some pain pills. But I think just irritation caused everything to really get fucked up more than it normally should have. And I decided to kind of like heal instead of like keep on going with YouTube, because apparently I sounded kind of funny for a minute as I was trying to like overcompensate for not being able to hear. So see you guys a little bit later. Relax with Bitcoin. We're okay overall. I don't think the bull run is over, but it feels like we're definitely in a more of a consolidation period where I'm just like, let's wait and see what happens. Let's not do any massive trades, but day trading up to 20-30 hours, that still seems like a strong thing for me. We're just waiting for that first signal that says, hey, let's enter into it. If I'm looking at the short-term momentum, it's definitely saying short or sell right now. It's just that, you know, that can be a little bit more